I was working on my game, got distracted, made some enemies. In my game, of course, not real life. First of all, I've realized I have not really explained why I'm making this game and my plans for this channel. I'm making Goblin Run because it's a game that I think I can complete in a reasonable amount of time and release on itch along with its art assets so people can steal my art. First there was this wizard guy that I showed off in my last video, and the blast bug. He boring, he shoot bullet, that's it. Also something I didn't plan for, but you'll have to stick around to see what it is. First I had to actually create the pixel art. I already knew what the wizard looked like, but it has a problem. If I were to have the wizard at this size, he would be one of the larger enemies in the game, and that's just not what I'm going for. Also, I do want him to be a little bit harder to hit. So I redrew him, smaller this time, and gave him a little animation. Game look, so much more sophisticated, beautiful, gorgeous. This is how I build my enemies. I start with a template that already has health, physics, and animations built in. Then I add an enemy-specific script that controls the enemy's functionality. Stuff like splitting, shooting, or in this case, buffing other enemies. I will probably want to expand this at some point, but for now, it's good enough. To make it so the wizard heals other enemies, I give it a circle collider. I already programmed healing into the health script, so I just need to trigger it when they touch the collider. But after an enemy is healed, I also want it to get stronger. I need to add each enemy he buffs to a list so I can make sure I don't buff the same guy over and over again. This didn't really have the desired effect. Enemies just kinda moseyed on through. And if you saw a wizard, you would immediately pick him off. It didn't really put any pressure on the player. You would just spawn a wall and knock the enemies back. So I added a force to any enemy that went through the zone, forcing you to make the choice of focusing on the wizard or the enemy. Then we add a particle system and trails, and the wizard enemy is finished. The other day, I was talking about random enemy ideas with a friend. I had an idea for an enemy that would punish you when you killed it. It would sprout out tiles that block your bullets, creating a wall. But I could not come up with a reason for an enemy to sprout tiles. So I morphed the idea into a rock enemy that would break into smaller rocks when you killed it. And it's honestly not that complicated of an idea. I designed and animated the enemy in a few minutes. So I go into my game files and I copy the Splitterbug prefab because it's an enemy that spawns things when it dies. I tried to get the debris to match the general shape of the body, and it will explode from the body when it dies. Add some cool effects when it takes damage. That's another enemy that I hope makes the player's life a little bit harder. Now, Goblin Run has a little bit of enemy variety, and I can focus on giving it a game loop. Next time.